Thought 10, Jets, from the Put That in Your Pipe and Smoke It file.
Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go is right. Sometimes I wish the analytics guy would just...
Shut the fuck up.
Player on-ice metrics are important but very misleading at times. It's hard to quantify size and toughness into analytics, and players like Luke Schenn and Logan Stanley often get chastised for poor metrics. How do you measure size, reach, and toughness in today's game? If you don't think it's important, you've missed the plot and you don't know as much about hockey as you think you do.
That's true, yeah.
Players like Schenn and Stanley rarely play behind the top lines, so their Corsi numbers would suffer, especially on this Jets team that isn't a high-volume shooting team, and the second, third, and fourth lines don't score a lot. You need all types of players to... Oh, goodness.
There we go.
To win this league, so stop crapping on big, tough players. Go back in your basement and play with your slide rule and...
Shut the fuck up.
And while you're at it, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yep. It's so true. I mean, so people will read that and they'll go, oh my God, Mitch is one of them. He's a eye test guy and he's anti-analytics. Oh God, no, I'm not. What I am anti is the first thing that comes out of somebody's mouth is their metrics and the Corsi numbers and the analytics. And analytics are a very important tool, but they're just a tool. And, in evaluating any player, the analytics, a lot of stuff, first of all, you can't measure intangibles, right? And if you don't think intangibles are important, and how do you quantify them? I don't know. You just have to have some experience, and you got to use your brains. Now, analytics are also flawed in the sense that, like I say with the Jets, when are you going to see? Well, until the end, when Stanley started showing some offensive potential, and Josh was out, he got to play on the power play in a lot more offensive situations. But Luke Schenn, I was never a big fan of Schenn. I thought he was a pile-on, and he's still not the greatest skater. But I heard some people bitching about it, so I really concentrated on him for a couple of weeks. And you know what? He really has adapted his game to this game. He's still not great, but he's not half as bad as his metrics might show or what other people make him off to be. He adds something to the team that you need. And if you don't think that toughness and size is something the teams don't want, how come every year somebody pays draft picks to get these guys for the playoff run? And same thing with Stan. You watch Stan, he's going to get paid. And I don't understand the hate that it must be these guys that don't like them. They must have been small players that got cut from their AAA teams because other guy was bigger. So they just have an ongoing inbred hatred of big hockey players because they feel like because they were small. If you're small, you got to be good. Now, luckily in today's NHL, there's a lot more smaller players that'll play. Back in the 60s, 70s, even in the 80s, you'd never see half these guys playing that you see now. So the game has evolved. But if you think you're going to get rid of the big guy, you're sorely mistaken. Like I said, shrubs and trees. I'll reference that again. You got to have some trees back there, man. And even the trees is tough. I watch big guys like Adam Lowry and Stan and Schenn, and you start going up against some of these big power forwards in front of your net, in front of Hellebuck. Good luck. What do you think these little Smurfs are going to do? They get eaten up. So, just stop the hate and stop being such dicks about it. There's more to evaluating a player than his metrics. And especially, this is the part that gets me. You got teams now that are doing the metrics on the junior players getting drafted. I wanted to see some guy, some scout, an amateur scout, like the amateur scouts that scout the juniors and that for the pro teams. I want to see some amateur scout go into the draft board and say, oh, no, yeah, you can't take him. His horsey, his metrics are no good. Watch him get fucking laughed out of the room. It's all about at the junior level and almost every level. It's a mixture of the eye test, the character, I was always a big proponent of skating and work ethic. For me, that's the character of a player. Why is it that players on good hockey teams have good metrics and analytics? Because the fucking teams are good and they play with good players. I mean, do you think that Dylan DeMello's numbers are all would be as good as they are if he wasn't playing with Josh Morrissey and playing mostly behind Scheifele, Connor, and whoever is the winger, whether it's Iafallo or Gabe Velarde? It depends. A lot of it depends on who you play with. And on a Jets team that's just not scoring any goals, how are your analytics going to get better? They're just going to look like crap every night. So just lay off the big guys and stop being such dicks and like 6'7". He could play because he's 6'7". Yeah, he can play because he's fucking 6'7". You know what? I'll take 6'7" over 5'8". Hey, of course, all things being equal and skill level being very close, you take the big guy. That's just the law of the jungle, the rule of hockey, the rule of the land, and it's not wrong. So piss off. Take that, put that in your pipe and fucking smoke it because it just pisses me off. You know why? Because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", and go, oh, he's so big. Yeah, I'm big and I can skate and I can score. Your little weasel there, your little weasel kid doesn't stand a chance, so don't fucking blame me.